Club Q will reopen and honor those killed and queer community.
What can we do? We can rebuild. We can come together, we can do vigils, we can raise money, but that's not going to bring back those 5 people that lost their lives because you want to be a dumb.
A community now in mourning. 5 people killed, 25 others injured in a mass shooting at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado. Police say 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich was arrested for the shooting at
The LGBTQ plus nightclub in Colorado Springs, where a gunman shot and killed 5 people, announced on Monday its plan to rebuild and eventually reopen. Club Q said that it also has a plan to financially help those affected, as well as the club's former staff and contractors. Club Q is expected to reopen next fall, 2024. The club will also partner with Colorado Springs and a local women-owned architecture firm to create a tribute to the victims of the shooting, as well as rebuild the club with new security protections. The designs for the rebuild are expected in the next 4 to 6 weeks. The planned tribute will be a permanent memorial to Daniel Aston, Raymond Green Vance, Kelly Loving, Ashley Paugh, and Derrick Rump. The new security features will be planned in coordination with local, state, and federal agencies in order to have Club Q stand as a model for LGBTQ plus safe spaces in the U.S. The club has also brought on 2 victims of the shooting as new staff, as a full staff plan is worked out for the venue to reopen. It also said that it continues to fundraise for those affected by the shooting, supporting both the Colorado Healing Fund and the Compassion Fund. This story is fantastic, and the reason why it's different is because most of the time after a mass shooting, they will tear the place down, okay? And with this one, they're not going to tear the place down. You know, they're going to gut it and redo it, but they're going to give it back. And that is how we beat hate, is by shining. Okay, and Club Q will allow LGBTQ plus folks to come back and enjoy it for what it was, as a safe space, as it should be.
And I agree, but on the other hand, I feel like it's great that they got a women-led architecture firm to rebuild the space, and there's going to be a memorial. On the other hand, I feel sad that now we have to specifically design security measures. I mean, I wanted my ideal gay bar is somewhere that you can go in and feel welcome, not go through metal screen and not go through metal detectors.
Well, Bobby, this is 2023. Get used to it, Bobby. I mean, we just went to Pride where they had metal detectors. This is the new norm.
It's sad, is what it is.
Yeah.
I hope it. I'm glad that they're doing this, right? Mm-hmm. I hope it doesn't get into the conniving in battle in the community, like what's happening.
Wait, you know we're gay, right?
Right. I'm afraid we're going to go there.
All right. What do you mean with posts? What do you mean?
Well, because there are some controversies with the people that own the bar, and then the new memorial, and it's been this infighting going on for already like a few years, right? Yep. And it diverts the attention for what's really important
from the victims and what happened.
And this is I hope it doesn't get to that. And this is, better done here.
My concern, and this is me. This is in my head. These are things that I have to deal with, but I can't help but wonder, first, does it feel like we're dancing on their graves? Like when we rebuild and reopen and we've got it's
a reasonable feeling. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but that is a reasonable feeling.
Like my first thought when I read this was, if I was there when this happened, would I be able to go back?
I don't know how those
even
two
if it was
people,
redone,
the two victims who have been brought on staff, I don't know how they can go back there as.
That's resilience
like I said,
to the max.
I said this is in my head, but that's where my heart is.
Can I, Pulse?
Yes,
I'm on this page with you. But let me ask you a sincere question to this point, and thinking about LGBT. We lost 50,000 servicemen in the Vietnam War, and today one of the top places to visit in the world for Viet vets is to go to Vietnam, and Vietnam welcomes them with open arms. They have a very progressive tourism program and attitude of, wait, how could we? And on both sides, regardless of how, do we think that that's inappropriate? 50,000 Americans lost, and Americans flock into visiting Vietnam, and Vietnam vets flock into wanting to visit and go back to Vietnam. Isn't that kind of the same kind of thing?
It's not. Vietnam's a country. This is like one spot where one particular tragedy happened. You know, like I could go to Colorado. I could probably even go to Colorado Springs again, go to a club that's, you know, maybe a block away. I just don't know about being able to go. But again, we have to retake, otherwise we let them take from us. If we don't reclaim our spots, then they win. So it's a hard issue. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what's weighing on my heart for this story.
For me, this is about resiliency. The idea that, you know, we can rebuild right on the same spots. Colorado Springs has always been one of the dots in Colorado that's not necessarily very friendly to LGBTQ rights. Remember, a lot of organizations like Focus on the Family originated from there. So so for us to reopen and say we're still here, we are opening right the same spots, and we are going to be dancing again. That's very important, I think, to show us we are not backing down, we are not afraid, and there.
Can I make sure that I say out loud, we're doing this story, we're reporting on what Club Q is saying in Colorado Springs and what their plans are. Colorado Springs is not a great town for LGBT. That's the whole point of what was going on in Colorado Springs, especially in comparison to Aspen or Vail and certainly Denver. I hope anyone that watches this report and our reporting of this, that Club Q and the LGBTQ community in Colorado Springs knows that we're doing this story because we're standing up for Club Q. We're saying out loud, wait, we're right there with you. And this is a very positive story, irrespective of John's expression of, is this the right thing to do? Let me just tell you from my perspective, because of Pulse. I always, in every story related to gun violence, especially in LGBT, I say Edward Sotomayor, first name killed at Pulse, who worked directly for me and the RuPaul event. Club Q in Colorado Springs is already doing something that we couldn't accomplish in Orlando. You zero right in on it. It's coming up on its 6th anniversary in June, and we're no closer, really, to where we should be 6 years later. Lots of reasons, fight, memorial, what kind of memorial, what are we doing with the platform of the building? Pulse never reopened. You can visit Pulse today, but at the end of the day, what are we doing for the 49 victims at Pulse? Well, Club Q seems to be, and I hope that that's the story that we're telling here, which is we're going to move beyond this respectfully and in the proper way to memorialize those that are lost, including 2 of the victims working in the same place. And we're moving forward to memorialize the event, to say we're resilient, to embrace those that were affected, and say we're here and we're not going anywhere. And already Club Q in Colorado Springs is doing something with all of the worldwide attention on Orlando that Orlando couldn't accomplish. So we're congratulating Club Q in Colorado Springs and saying, please, there's thousands of people like me out there that say every year, Edward Sotomayor, and we're still waiting. We're still waiting.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.